In this video, we're going to be looking at writing a quadratic equation given the roots and the leading coefficient. And as a reminder, remember that if x or if c is a root is the same as a 0 or an x-intercept, then x minus c is a factor. Okay, so if x minus c is a factor, then x minus c equals 0. You solve it by adding c to both sides, and you get x equals c is a root. So it goes both ways. So we're going to be given roots, and we're going to write them in factored form. Okay, and then we're going to figure out what the lead coefficient is and multiply that through. Okay, so for the first one, say we have f of x. Write a quadratic equation whose roots are 1 and 5, and whose leading coefficient is 4. So the leading coefficient will go out front, and then I have 1 and 5, so x minus 1, because if c is a root, then x minus c is a factor, and x minus 5. Okay, we need to work that all out. So x times x is x squared, minus 1x, minus 5x, plus 5. Okay, so that's equal to 4 times x squared minus 6x plus 5. And if I distribute the 4, I got 4x squared minus 24x plus 20. And that's f of x. Okay, and the next one, write a quadratic equation whose roots are negative 4 and 1. Leading coefficient is 5, so I'll call this g of x. And the leading coefficient is a 5, so I'll stick that out front. And then x minus a negative 4 and x minus 1. Now, I can't leave two negatives here, right? So that becomes a positive. So equals 5 times x plus 4, x minus 1. Now let's multiply these two factors together, and then I'll multiply the 5. So that becomes 5 times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Combine like terms on the inside there. I get x squared plus 3x minus 4, and then distribute the 5. So 5x squared, this one will be plus 15x, and that will be minus 20. So g of x is equal to 5x squared plus 15x minus 20. Okay, let's look at this one. Write a quadratic equation whose roots are negative 5 and negative 2. Leading coefficient is 3, so I'll call this one h of x. Leading coefficient is 3, x minus a negative 5, and x minus a negative 2. Okay, minus and a minus make plus on both of those. So it'll be 3 times x plus 5, x plus 2. Okay, multiply those through, leave the 3 alone for the moment. X times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 5 times x is 5x, 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, clean up the terms on the inside. It's x squared plus 7x plus 10. And when I multiply the through this whole thing, I'll get 3x squared plus 21x plus 30. Okay, last one. Write a quadratic equation whose roots are 6 and 1 and whose leading coefficient is 1. So I'll call this p of x, just any old function notation. And leading coefficient is 1, and roots are 6 and 1. So x minus 6, x minus 1. Obviously, the 1 out front isn't going to change anything, so I'll drop that and then multiply through. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And negative 6 times negative 1 is 6. Combine like terms, and we get x squared minus 7x plus 6, and that is our function.